Kenny. That was absolute crap. I never wanted to be in this position. I never wanted to be here, but you made a promise. You already went back in a gentleman's agreement once. You made a promise to him. You said you were going to give him a match. That was BS. He had just gone through 2 matches, and you can't even promise people matches. I make the matches, and I'm going to tell you right now, Kenny, 9 days from tonight, you got time to get ready, man. 9 days from tonight, you have to wrestle in 9 days from tonight on Dynamite, live on Dynamite. Live on Dynamite, you have to wrestle him. If you win, if you beat him, you get a shot at the title.
I'm not doing it.
It's too late.
I'm not doing it.
Then you shouldn't have said it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, that is where the Love Fest began. My total Love Fest with TK, Tony Khan. And we are gathered here today. All of us are gathered here today to celebrate the birthday of the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Tony Khan. Tony, happy birthday to you, my friend, from everybody at vincesbrand.com, man. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. We hope you aren't working bell to bell today as you usually do, and we hope you can stop and smell the roses, man. You've got a lot to celebrate, man. You've got a lot to be happy about. Maybe we could start with the billions of dollars in the bank. I would be very happy if I had billions of dollars in the bank. We might want to start there. You've got a football team that is currently 4-1 in the Jacksonville Jaguars. You've got your passion. You've got the thing you love more than anything, and that is AEW wrestling. You got Fulham. You got your analytics company. Bro, you've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around your finger. What a world. What a life. You're Tony Khan. I am not being sarcastic. Some of you may be listening to this right now thinking I'm being sarcastic and trying to be funny. Bro, you nuts? This dude has a charmed life. And here's the thing that I do love about Tony. He does have a charmed life. His dad, Shad, God bless him, made a boatload of money, which enabled Tony to buy his own wrestling company. But we got to be clear about one thing. Tony Khan works his arse off. He works his ass off. This isn't a kid. This isn't a rich, spoiled brat kid that is sitting back, enjoying all the fruits of his father's labor. That's not what he's doing. Tony Khan is literally working his ass off. He's got so many irons in the fire. Seriously, I would be shocked. I bet you Tony gets about 3 hours of sleep a night. And I am not exaggerating. I would bet the dude gets about 3 hours of sleep a night. But seriously, man, on your birthday, you do need to stop for a few minutes, and you do need to enjoy life, bro. You need to enjoy life. And this is a celebration, Tony, of your life. And at the end of this celebration, that is the tease, that is the cliffhanger, there is going to be a very, very, very special invite. And that's going to come later on. Now, if you want to be a part of this celebration, if you have any questions or comments, I will pull you right up on the screen and I will address them. They could be Tony Khan related. They could be whatever you like. I duck nothing. I've got nothing to hide. We could talk about whatever you want, but today I'm really going to concentrate on Tony Khan. It's been 6 years now that we've had this gem of a human being as part of the wrestling culture. We are going to talk about that. My buddy Danimal. Danimal. Ho, ho, ho. Happy birthday to Tony Khan. Happy birthday to my mother as well. As a side note, thank you for taking the time to listen to the vinyl. Hold on, Danimal. Let me give you a shameless plug. Hold on. This is Danimal's album that he was kind enough to send to me. The Louseketeers. This is Danimal's album. This is Danimal's band. And I did listen to it, Danimal, like I promised you I would. And Danimal kept telling me, Vince, if you like the Ramones, you will love my album. Very Ramone-ish, Danimal. Very, very Ramone-ish. And I got to say, I didn't realize that your lead singer was a female, which is freaking awesome. But great album, guys. The Louseketeers. Yes. Thank you, Danimal, for the $9.99. Danimal is also a new member. Guys, you could be a YouTube member for 99 cents a month and get exclusive videos. Jonathan Karate, how long until AI creates better wrestling? Hey, man, people have been talking about that. And that's a real thing. There is no doubt in my mind right now that AI could not create a better wrestling product than the WWE. No doubt in my mind. But let's get back to TK. It was 6 years ago that AEW started. And listen, my love affair with TK started when he cut a promo on me. TK cut a promo on me, burying me. Now, you got to keep in mind, I didn't even know who this dude was. So I never said anything about him. I never said anything negative about him. And all of a sudden, he's doing an interview and he's cutting a promo on me. And basically, what TK said that I will never forget is he said, Vince Russo went into WCW and they had a hangnail, and Vince Russo proceeded to chop the entire arm off. That is what TK said. That was the start of my relationship with TK. Now, obviously, there's no question that TK said that because TK is a wrestling mark. He is a Dave Meltzer mark. He is a Japanese wrestling mark. He is a 5-star wrestling mark. And he's not an entertainment guy. I am an entertainment guy, bro. I was raised on the WWE, Vince McMahon Sr., and that heavily relied on entertainment. So that is the wrestling I grew up on. And then, of course, from Vince Sr., it went to Vince Jr. And the WWE, WWF, WWF was all entertainment based. But Tony, had been subscribing to the Wrestling Observer since he was 3 years old. He was booking cards when he was 5 years old. And make no bones about it, bro, he is a wrestling mark through and through. But, like a lot of other marks, Tony Khan is going to take a shot at me a person he doesn't know, a person he never had a conversation with, to get over with the marks and be one of the cool kids. And bro, I totally understand that. I totally get that, bro. He wants to be over with the marks, and the quickest and easiest way to do that is to bury Vince Russo. I get it, bro. That's like, bro, you ever hear the term cheap heat? That's called cheap heat. That's like, Becky Lynch goes into Chicago. Oh, are we in Chicago? Oh, I thought we were the minute I smelt the stench in the air. That's cheap heat. And that's what Tony Khan went after, to take a shot at me. That gets him over with the cool kids. But here's the problem, man. Having a podcast and having done Russo's brand for 10 years, bro, I got to be very subjective, and I got to be very open-minded, and I've got to understand why people do what they do. And that's why Tony Khan was burying me, to get over with that crowd. So I guess what I'm saying is, I didn't hold that against him. I did not hold that against him. As a matter of fact, I watched the first 15 months of AEW. I watched every episode of Dynamite for 15 months. I watched every episode. And after 15 months, I just realized this product was not for me. This is not the kind of style I like. I'm not a Circus Soleil fan. I don't like flip-flop and flying. I like stories and I like characters. And for 15 months of watching AEW, I just was not seeing stories and I was not seeing characters. So I realized this is not for me, and I stopped watching. So, bro, ever since then, so what, 6 years minus 15 months, ever since then, I don't bury AEW, bro, because I can't bury a show that I don't watch. I don't watch AEW. So I don't bury it. I don't criticize it. I don't cut promos on it because I don't watch it. I can't talk about something that I do not watch. Again, guys, if you want to be part of this conversation, super stickers or donations, I will pull you right up on the screen. I'm going to pull up my Twitch too, because if you guys want to sub, resub, leave bits, I will shout you out here as well. So guys, regardless of what you think or what your perception is or what the other marks may be saying, I have not criticized AEW in the last 4.5 years. I have not watched a single show. However, let's be honest. We've got a little show called Castrating the Marks. And Tony Khan is a regular on Castrating the Marks. And when, those of you that are Russo brand subscribers, and if you've never been a Russo brand subscriber, you can get a free week. You can try us out by going to patreon.com/Russo TWC. Get your free week. Try us out. If you decide you want to subscribe, bro, the first tier is $3 a month. That's 75 cents a week. But grab your free week. So Tony Khan is the star of Castrating the Marks. Tony Khan also has a second show on the brand, which is the Dave Meltzer Tony Khan Extravaganza. So I get a lot of content out of Tony Khan. That's why I love Tony Khan. He provides the brand with content. He is He is content gold. And Tony's on a lot, man. A lot of clips, a lot of interviews, a lot of scrums, a lot of him singing Take Me Home Country Road. A lot. He's all over the shows, but genuinely, people that listen to russosbrand.com know that Jeff Lane and myself are 1,000% entertained by Tony Khan. Bro, Tony Khan is a character. And anybody who knows me knows first and foremost, I love characters. So Tony Khan is a character that I find very, very entertaining. John Desjardins, did you hear that Adam Page buried HBO this week? John, we talked all about that on russosbrand.com. That's why you got to go get your free week. Patreon.com/RussoTWC. We talked all about it. Tony Khan is a great character. Tony Khan is comedic gold. Tony Khan is entertaining. I don't even think Tony Khan knows how entertaining he is. Bro, I am being dead serious to you. If Tony Khan were a reoccurring character on AEW, that would be the only reason I would ever watch AEW. Seriously. That's how Tony Khan would get me as a viewer. If he were a character on AEW, I would watch. So this man is entertainment gold. He doesn't even know he's entertainment gold, bro. Bro, with the hugging and the coffee cups and the stomping of the foot, I can go on and on and on and on about many, many things I love about Tony Khan. Now, I'll tell you where I'm most critical about Tony Khan, because I am critical about Tony Khan, but my critical is a positive critical. It is not me cutting promos on Tony Khan. It really is, I am trying to give you advice, bro. I am trying to help you. Everybody knows I'm not a fan of the WWE. I think their programming sucks. I think Triple H sucks at creative. So I'm not a fan of WWE at all. So actually, I'm trying to help. I am trying to help Tony Khan. Man Bun Jesus TV, remember the groovy grizzly from that EC3 interview? That must be you, my friend. Thank you very, very much, Man Bun, for the donation. Now, here's where I'm critical on Tony Khan. Here's where I'm critical. First of all, bro, first and foremost, you got to stop listening to Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer is in the minority. He is not in the majority. The majority are people like me, who is a casual wrestling fan, and we stopped watching wrestling. That's the majority. The casual wrestling fan does not go to wrestling sites, does not care about gossip and hearsay and rumors and all that shit. They were fans of the Attitude Era, and little by little by little by little, they stopped watching wrestling. That is the majority. I represent those people and the majority. Final boss, what's up, my friend? Tony Khan. Tony Khan. So, bro, stop with Dave Meltzer. Meltzer doesn't have a clue, has never had a clue, has never worked in the wrestling business, and somewhere along the line, Dave Meltzer has convinced himself that wrestling is real. There is no such thing as rope work. There is no such thing as base work. This is all shit that Dave Meltzer has made up between hair dye sessions. Stop with Dave Meltzer. The more you listen to Dave Meltzer, the less of a chance you have of growing your audience. You need to listen to people who aren't watching your show, Tony. You need to understand why they aren't watching your show, what you need to do to get them to watch your show. Screw the marks. They're going to watch your show regardless, bro. You have them. They're in your back pocket. They're not going anywhere. This is what they do for a living. Do you understand me? Forget Dave Meltzer. The reason you're spinning your wheels is because this dude is an influence on you. And Meltzer represents the minority. That is my biggest criticism of freaking Tony Khan. Bro, look at where you are 6 years in and look at the people you're listening to. That's a good indication that you're listening to the wrong people. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Tony, you should not be doing every single interview. And I understand what you're doing, bro. When you're doing these interviews, you're promoting your company. But, bro, what you have to understand is the people watching these interviews and watching your interviews are already watching AEW. That's who's tuning into your interviews. Those are the people that want to interview you. They're AEW marks, bro. They're already watching your product. They know what time all your shows come on. They know what the next PLE card is. They already know all that shit. You got to reach the people that aren't watching. And here's how you do that, bro. Instead of you doing all these interviews, you got to get your talent out there. Let your talent go out there and do these interviews. Rebecca Monet over there, Banks. Bro, she's a great spokesperson for your company. She's always putting your company over. Put her out there. Let her do these interviews. Bro, you got guys like Jericho. Let the talent do the interviews. Get those personalities over. You're too accessible, Tony. You're too accessible. My God, bro, I've seen you do interviews for websites that got a handful of people. Like literally, a handful of people are watching these interviews. Stop that. Stop that. Quit doing an interview with every Tom, Dick, Harry, and Mark that calls you to do an interview. Get your talent on there. Get Monet out there. Get her out there. Like get Tony Storm. My God, who could be more entertaining than Tony Storm to do an interview for AEW? Who could be more entertaining? Get her out there. And I'm sure you've got many more entertaining characters. I don't watch the show, Tony. I'm being honest. So I can't go up and down your roster. But there's no question in my mind that you've got entertaining characters. Guys, I want to tell you again, you want to be part of the conversation? We could talk about anything you'd like to talk about, but it's got to be through a super sticker or donation. Ryan Potter, can he go toe-to-toe with Mania Arabia? Yes, he can. Oh, we got a little comedy there by Ryan Potter. So, Tony, Get your talent out there to do these interviews, because every single interview with you, 95% of them are being conducted by a wrestling mark, and every interview is the same. And I know this because I've seen hundreds of your interviews on our shows. Tony, this is all sound advice. I am being truthful and I am being honest to you. You know, bro, hold focus groups, but who you want coming to these focus groups are people who are not watching your show. That's what you want to get to. What do I have to do to get viewers to my show who are not viewing it? You're catering to the same people. So again, these are suggestions to try to help you on your birthday. I am being dead serious. I am not being sarcastic at all. Let me make one thing clear. I am not looking for a job. I am not interested in that. I like you. And I think Tony Khan has been great for the wrestling business. It's an alternative. From a business perspective, it gives the boys and the girls the opportunity to make a lot of money, which is very, very, very important. So Tony has provided an alternative, and that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. What would Coke be without Pepsi? Like, seriously. What would Burger King be without McDonald's? Seriously. What would the WWE have been without WCW? Well, we are seeing that now. We are seeing that now. Now, here's something else that dawned on me yesterday, and I'm going to play this little gem for you. I have worn out this soundbite on my Roadcaster. I have literally worn this out because I have played it over and over and over and over again. Here it is.
This is what we envisioned in January, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's happening here in September. Gonna go on forever.
That is the great Shad Khan, the father of Tony Khan. So we opened up the show with a Tony Khan promo, and now we know where he gets it from. Let me play the Shad promo for you one more time. This was after the Jaguars won the first game of the season. He's in the locker room and he's addressing the team. Here it is again, one more time.
This is what we envisioned in January, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's happening here in September. Gonna go on forever.
Okay, that's where Tony gets it from. Now, guys, listen to me. The Jaguars are 4-1. Bro, can you imagine the gold in them their hills if the Jaguars win the Super Bowl and freaking Shad and Tony are on the podium with Roger Goodell? Can you imagine what this would look like? First of all, bro, Tony hugging Roger Goodell and burying his head in Roger Goodell's bosom. Picture that for a minute, bro. Let that sink in. And then Shad, the owner, giving a speech, bro, at the end of the Super Bowl. Guys, I am telling you, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm rooting for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Luis Martinez, $10. Thank you. Bischoff said you lost all your friends because you get mad when they go back to the WWE. He said Pritchard always defended you until he did a podcast on your book and saw what you wrote about him. Is this true? Well, Bischoff says you lost all of your friends because you get mad when they go back to the I don't know who he's talking about. I don't know which one of my friends went back to the WWE. I got no idea what he's talking about. He said Pritchard always defended you until he did a podcast on your book and saw what you wrote about him. Is this true? Well, after I wrote my book and after Pritchard and Conrad did a review of my book, bro, this is many years ago. Conrad and Pritchard reviewed my book on their show. And a lot of the things they said about my book, they took out of context. And it got me very, very, very upset. Because if you guys are familiar with my first book, Forgiven, bro, I wrote that book before I became a Christian. In the process of that book, I became a Christian. So I left the book raw and I left all the parts of the book in there before I became a Christian. And then once I became a Christian, I reflected back on those things that I said before I was a Christian. So that was the context of the book. But Bruce Pritchard and Conrad never mentioned that. So they went from the pre-Christian Vince Russo, and that's how they reviewed the book. I was very upset with that. So Bruce and I had a lengthy conversation after that, where I told Bruce how I felt, and we had a long conversation, and it was a good conversation. As a matter of fact, bro, Bruce Pritchard was the one who hooked me up with Twitch. I knew nothing about Twitch. Bruce hooked me up with Twitch, and he hooked me up with the people to get me on Twitch. This was long after my book was reviewed by him and Conrad. So Eric has, again, as usual, Eric has no idea what he's talking about. I have no idea. I lost all my friends because they went back. I have no idea what he's talking about. Bro, I left the WWE 26 years ago. 26 years ago. What friends do I have that are still in the WWE? My God, as a matter of fact, if you want to go one step further, when Road Dogg was released, I actually got Road Dogg on Sportskeeda and we were doing a show together, Brian James. Bro, I don't know who else I worked with that's even at the WWE. I mean, I didn't work with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins and the Bloodline, and I never worked with any of these people. So I don't even know what he's talking about. That's, again, listen, it has become shtick for Cornette and Bischoff to continually talk about me. And bro, you know what? If that puts money in your pocket, you've got my permission to talk about me. Seriously, bro. If that is helping you pay their bills, you can continue talking on about me all you want. I have no issue with it. But Luis, I'm happy that you asked me, because I will always tell you the truth, and I will always set the record straight. KS, thoughts on the Rush reunion with a new drummer? I'll be honest, man. I was never a Rush guy. I don't like Geddy Lee's voice. I'm not a Rush guy. I never was a Rush guy. So again, to be perfectly honest, however, I am going to see Paul McCartney / Billy Shears / Billy Shepherd this weekend, and I will let you know all about it next week on russosbrand.com. Again, get your free week, patreon.com /Russo TWC. Okay, guys, I'm going to ask you all for a favor. And I would love for this to happen. I don't think it will ever happen because, unfortunately, a lot of people in the wrestling business just don't have a sense of humor. They just don't, bro. They take everything so freaking seriously, bro. Everything so seriously, they don't have a sense of humor. Like I said, man, when Tony Khan is a subject of any of my shows, and anybody right now in the chat who is a russosbrand.com member, anyone in the chat can vouch for this. Whenever we talk about Tony Khan, we never, ever say anything in a hateful manner. Ever. We don't hate the guy. It's the complete opposite. We are entertained by the guy. So we do not speak ill. Like Meltzer, we bury. Meltzer deserves to be buried. So Meltzer, we bury with his dye job on a weekly basis. We never hatefully go after Tony. Never, ever, ever. With that being said, and here's where I want you guys to help me out. Let me go back to my friend Luis. Guys, again, if you want to get on here like Luis, super sticker or donation. Okay, he mentioned Michaels, Triple H, Hayes, Pritchard. Always said you were a great mind and helped the WWE come with everything. That's great. Okay, bro. Shawn Michaels was not my friend. We worked together. Shawn Michaels wasn't a friend. Triple H was not my friend. We worked together. He was a co-worker. Michael Hayes was never my friend. We worked together. Bruce Pritchard, I would consider a friend. Bruce Pritchard. And bro, listen, I've said some things about Pritchard, and I still do to this day. If Bruce Pritchard is involved with WWE Creative, I think WWE Creative sucks. If Bruce wants to take that personally, he could take it personally. I'm not saying anything about it personally. I'm saying the WWE Creative sucks. Whatever hand Bruce Pritchard plays in that, if he plays a big hand in that, I think it sucks. But as far as Michaels, Triple H, and Hayes, bro, I was never friends with those guys. I have not had one conversation with any of those guys to chit chat. I never call them, hey, how the wife, I can't even tell you, bro. I know Shawn Michaels is married because I know he married a Nitro girl. I can't tell you if Shawn Michaels has kids, how many kids Shawn Michaels has, if they're I can't tell you any of that. I was never friends with these people. That's a real reach. Stevie Richards is my friend. Al Snow is my friend. EC3 is my friend. Ben Hameen is my friend. Jeff Lane is my friend. These are my friends. Stevie Ray is my friend. Believe it or not, Disco Inferno is my friend. These are my friends. I was never friends with any of those people, but Bruce Pritchard. Okay, let me get back. I think somebody had something, and I don't want to miss it. Here we go. Kevin Maury, we love Tony Khan at Russo's Brand, people. Yes, we do, Kevin. We absolutely do. That's why, guys, I'm going to ask you to help me. because this would be my dream interview. Bro, I do a very popular show, and it's live on Stadium, bro. It is live on Stadium. You can get that through Amazon Prime. I do a weekly live show every Thursday with Jonathan Coachman, the coach. It's very popular. It's a huge platform. We get tens of thousands of people to watch the show. Tony, I want to interview you. I want you to come on the show. You have my word, and you have my word in front of 400 people that are in this room right now. I will treat you with the utmost respect. But since I have been following you for the last 6 years, I have some questions. And I would like to ask you some questions, and some of them may be difficult questions. And now why? Because I want to understand what you're thinking. I want to understand why you're doing what you're doing. I want to really get inside your head and get a grasp with the psychology in which you run AEW. So I would love for you to come on, Coach and Show. This is a personal invitation. It is an open invitation. I am going to be respectful. I have no desire to argue with you or be combative with you. I would just like to understand you. That's it. That's it. I would love to interview you. It's not going to be softballs. You know, a lot of these interviews, man, you get softballs, bro. And that's why, you know, to casual fans and fans that you want to watch your show, bro, you ain't going to get them through softball interviews. You're not. I want to ask you, Tony, some of the hard questions nobody has asked you before, only because maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I don't understand something, but I really want to get inside your head and understand you. Now, listen, guys and gals, whoever is in the chat, go to Twitter at Tony Khan. Let him know about this offer. Why 3 cups? Perfect. Let him know about this offer. Let him know that Jonathan Coachman, Vince Russo have a very popular show with a live audience that is live, and they would love to interview you. Vince has gone on a public record of saying he will not be disrespectful. He will not be combative. He's not going to toss softballs, but he has some questions he would love to ask you. I want you guys to tweet it out at Tony Khan. Tell him to get in contact with me at the Vince Russo, and let's arrange this interview. And I guarantee you, Tony, it will help you. It will help AEW. It will help people get a better understanding of you and your process. And I guarantee that you will get new viewers from this interview. Now, if you don't want new viewers, that's a whole other thing. I have to assume that it's all about getting new viewers and new eyeballs. I have to assume that. So, guys, please go on Twitter at Tony Khan. You got an open invite from the Coach and Bro. They want you to do the Coach and Bro show. We can tape it. We can go live. We can work around your schedule, whatever you want to do. Luis! I'm not sure why he hates you, because he always tries to call you a girl and told a story about running out of strip club. What? Running out of a strip club? I can see why you say you dislike him. Luis, I've been in one strip club in my life. One. And I'll tell you what that was. My good friend Bruce Pritchard. This is going back 1995, 30 years ago, bro, 30 years ago. My good friend Bruce Pritchard, Bruce and I were doing creative. We go out to lunch. Bro, it's the middle of the day. It's 12 o'clock. We go out to lunch. Bruce brings me to a strip club for lunch. What? Bro, I felt so dirty, and I felt like I totally betrayed my wife, that I was like, what the frig are you doing? Where are we? Why are you bringing me here? Bro, that's the only time I've been to a strip club in my life. So I don't know. Maybe Bruce told him that story. If Bruce told him that story, then he's probably telling the truth. I'm not sure why he hates you, because he always tries to call you a girl, and told a story about running out of. That's probably it, Luis. That's probably it, man. Interesting. Luis, you running outside. Bro, I swear to God, that was the one and only time I've ever been in a strip club in my life. I'm not a strip club guy, bro. Like that's not my thing. Okay, can we get back to Tony Khan? Guys, I want you to go on the Twitch. I want you to go on the Twitter at Tony Khan. It was not a buffet. And I could not get out of there quick enough. So that might be the story that Eric's telling. So am I a girl because I don't go to strip clubs? And Eric's a man because he goes to strip clubs? Okay, guys, can I get back to Tony? Please, tweet Tony Khan. You've got an open invite. You are number one at the top of the list for the Coach and Bro Show. We will treat you like royalty. I will roll out the red carpet. Tony, there are just so many questions, man, I would love to ask you. And whether I agree or disagree, I'm going to listen, and I am going to respect your point of view. Let's make this happen. Let's break down these stupid, ridiculous barriers, because you represent wrestling marks. Therefore, I can't talk to Vince Russo because Vince is on the entertainment side of things and Vince hates 20-minute matches. Can we get past all that ridiculousness? Like, seriously, bro? Seriously. All right, guys, I am about to wrap this up. Troy, my buddy Troy, just resubbed over on Twitch. Thank you, Troy. Guys, I'm going to get ready to wrap this up. I got to go do some things. Any last questions, any last comments, let me know. I'm going to play the two interviews back to back to give you some time to get me some last minute questions. Let's start with the very, very first Tony Khan promo. Here it is, guys.
That was absolute crap. I never wanted to be in this position. I never wanted to be here, but you made a promise. You already went back in a gentleman's agreement once. You made a promise to him. You said you were going to give him a match. That was BS. He had just gone through 2 matches, And you can't even promise people matches. I make the matches. And I'm going to tell you right now, Kenny, 9 days from tonight, you got time to get ready, man. 9 days from tonight, you have to wrestle him 9 days from tonight on Dynamite, live on Dynamite. Live on Dynamite. You have to wrestle him. If you win, if you beat him, you get a shot at the title.
I'm not doing it.
It's too late.
I'm not doing it.
Then you shouldn't have said it.
I love when Tony goes into promoter voice. I love when he changes his voice and he lowers it a couple of octaves and he gets into promoter voice. But now you ask the question, Vince, where do you think he gets that magistry from? Is that something he was born with? Is that something he inherited? Does he go to acting school? No. Here's where he got it.
This is what we envisioned in January, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's happening here in September. Gonna go on forever.
Yes. Instagram's a wrestling historian. Did you help with WCW's magazine division? A little bit, Instagram, a little bit. Obviously, over at the WWE, I was very, very involved with the magazines, but not so much in WCW. But I do remember being involved a little bit. Let's see. Luis Martinez, Bischoff versus Russo, Tony Khan, special referee. Hey, listen, Luis, I have said many times I wanted to have a conversation with Eric Bischoff. Conrad tried to make that happen. And for years and years and years, Bischoff refused to have a conversation with me, which doesn't make any sense. Because if I am the liar that Bischoff claims I am, then, bro, why wouldn't you want to expose me? Why wouldn't you want to expose me, bro? If everything that comes out of my mouth is a lie, why wouldn't you go one-on-one with me and expose me to the world and show the world what a liar Vince Russo is? Is it possible, bro, that you refused because Vince isn't the one who's lying, bro? Could that be a possibility? But Luis, to be honest with you, that ship has sailed. I have no desire whatsoever to have a conversation with Eric. I offered many, many times on many occasions. That ship has sailed. No longer do I have an interest. But yeah, your booking, Luis, is not going to happen. All right, guys, let Tony know. Bombard Tony. Let him know. Bro, do an interview with these guys. They want to interview you. It'll be the best interview you've ever done. Maybe people will understand you better. Maybe people will understand your philosophies better. Maybe, just maybe, Tony, you will get new AEW viewers. Let me know. Guys, go get your free week. Patreon.com/Russo TWC. If you want to email me, hold on. Traffic jam, happy beat day, Tony Khan. Need to be an on-air character. I wish. If you want, wait a minute. Wrestling historian, do you remember what kept you busy during your hiatus from WCW in early 2000? During those 3 months, thank you, sir. Now, Instagram, honestly, I was in a really, really, really deep state of depression, man. That was a really bad time. I moved my entire family from Connecticut to Atlanta only to see this thing crash and burn in the first 3 months. So I felt very, very, very bad for putting my my family through that. My kids were very young, and I was really in a bad state. Guys, if you want to email me, officialvincerusso@gmail.com. Take care, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Go get your free week. God bless you all.